Range fans, we have a bit of a treat for you today. 10mm FXP Fenix ammunition, jacketed hollow point with Clear Ballistics Gelatin. What a special treat we have with us today. Fenix 10mm ammunition being fired through 16 inches of Clear Ballistics Gelatin. That's right, folks. We're going to make our first run in testing this Fenix 10mm ammunition to see how well it performs in the Clear Ballistics Gelatin. Before heading out to the range, we're going to talk a little bit about the ammunition. So Fenix ammunition, as you can see, great packaging, very secure, and it's a little bit non-traditional. It gets away from the cardboard box, and if you did see this ammunition in a big box store someplace, I think personally it would make it stand out. The problem is, I believe you can only get this ammunition by ordering online, and I think the packaging is the way it is because of the shipping. I've never seen this ammunition in a big box store. Now let's get to examining the 10mm round. On the back of the packaging, this package says this 180 grain slug, this Speer Gold Dot, is clocking in at 1,300 feet per second. Well, we're going to shoot it across the chronograph for you today to see how true that is. The 10mm is loaded in JAG, that's JAG cases, 10mm auto. The overall length is 1.250 inches. The crimp is 0.421 from an unfired case. After firing, I did notice that the case blows out to 0.423 and the case web to 0.425. So very little expansion, kind of telling me that the JAG cases are up to snuff for this 1,300 feet per second 10mm ammunition. Now let's get out to the range and see how this ammunition truly performs across the chronograph. You guys have seen the Pro Chronograph before, but on the range with us today, we have two beautiful specimens. A Wesson Classic C-Bob, bobtail, 4-inch barrel, 1911. We also have with us the Para Elite Hunter. It is sporting a 6-inch barrel. We're going to see what both do and what the numbers turn out like across the chronograph. All right, guys. We're on the range with the Fenix 10mm 180 grain ammunition. Advertised velocity is 1,300 feet per second. Let's look at the chronograph, the tail of the tape. We're going to shoot 5 rounds across for accuracy and also to catch velocity out of this 4-inch Wesson. And then we're going to shoot 5 rounds out of the 6-inch Para Elite. Let's put these 5 rounds down range from approximately 10 feet away. All right, seems to be pretty consistent, but let's do a quick review of that string. 1266, 1266, 1275, 1316, 1298 with a high of 1316, a low of 1266, the average of 1284, extreme spread of 50, standard deviation of 22. I would say pretty consistent 180 grain ammunition from Fenix. So let's move to the 6-inch Para Elite. Before we move on, let's take a look at the target. Nice 5-shot group from the 4-inch Dan Wesson. Let's break out that Para Elite Hunter. Next up, 5 rounds, 180 grain Fenix ammunition through the Para Elite Hunter 6-inch barrel. Wow, that 180 grain Fenix ammunition picked up quite a bit of velocity out of this long barreled 6-inch Para. Let's go through the velocities. 1368, 1332, 1344, 1360, 1399. The high is 1399. The low is 1332. The average is 1360. Extreme spread 67. Standard deviation 25. Another good group from the Para Elite Hunter. Let's check the target out. Pretty good group there from the Para Elite Hunter. Now let's move on to what everybody came here for, the Clear Ballistics Gel. And we're going to see if barrel length from both of these pistols, the 4-inch Dan Wesson, the 6-inch Para Elite Hunter, has any bearing at all in penetration through Clear Ballistics Gel. The Fenix 10mm ammunition turned in great numbers across the chronograph out of both the 4-inch and also the 6-inch 1911s. Now we're going to move on to the Clear Ballistics Gel test. The Clear Ballistics Gel test, we've got 2 blocks that we're going to arrange back to back to try and ensure that we capture this 180 grain Speer Gold Dot bullet to see what the expansion's like. So let's get this set up and shoot some rounds through the chronograph from both the Dan Wesson with 4-inch barrel along with the Para Elite Hunter and 6-inch barrel. Let's see how much of a difference the extra velocity makes in penetration through the Clear Ballistics Gelatin. Look at that. I think it did go through 16 inches. It barely puckered the second block there. Let's take a look close up of the cavitation. Wow. So these Clear Ballistics blocks can take up to 5 shots. We're going to put another shot through the unmolested block from the Para Elite Hunter, the 6-inch, and do a comparison. Next up, the 6-inch Para Elite Hunter. We've seen what the 2 extra inches does to velocity. Now let's see how much that velocity changes the penetration of the Fenix ammunition. I will stay tuned and I will show you and measure the size of the bullets after passing through the gel. We did find the bullet and it is right at 16 inches from the Fenix ammunition and also the Dan Wesson 4-inch. Now we're moving on to the Para Elite Hunter. Wow, that Para Elite Hunter really made it jump, and we caught the bullet about 2 inches in on the second block. So with the 4-inch Dan Wesson, it did not penetrate the second block. It actually stopped and got stopped by the paper that I left the gel wrapped in. It comes like this. So let's see, we'll dig out the bullet and let's see what that looks like. Stay tuned. This is the cavitation from the Para Elite Hunter. Wow, it goes all the way through clearly through the first 16-inch block, and there you have it. The bullet rests about an inch and a half in. We will dig that out and take the measurements, but wow, extra velocity, extra penetration, and the bullet did fully expand. I'm curious on what the weight is and what the size is, but as you can see there, the bullet fully expanded, Fenix ammunition doing its job. Finishing up the range day with a 22 suppressor on a Ruger 2245. All right, I just got back from the range today shooting the Fenix 10mm jacketed hollow point ammunition in Clear Ballistics blocks. And I got to tell you, what a different experience that brings. Just a really big different or change in experience than just shooting across the chronograph. And I want to thank Clear Ballistics Gel for that experience. So what I have in front of me today, you can see I have the RCBS weight scale here. I've got a Hornady scale here, which we're going to zero out and kind of tar the scale, if you will. And then I've got both bullets out of the Clear Ballistics Gel. This particular bullet came from the Dan Wesson 4-inch. This bullet came from the Para Elite Hunter 6-inch. So let's get to weighing these things and let's do the tail of the tape and see how it all performed. So that's a 50 grain weight from the RCBS weight scale. You can see on the Hornady scale, it's coming out at 50.1. For you extreme reloaders out there, I've been doing this for about 20 years or reloading for about 20 years. Oh, and by the way, the reloadersnetwork.com, great place to go for experienced and also novice reloaders to find out. Or if you just love the activity of reloading, I'd encourage you to visit the reloadersnetwork.com. But anyways, moving on, for you experienced reloaders out there, no fear. I have multiple scales, not just this cheap Hornady. I use the cheap Hornady for moving around. I don't move a lot of my more expensive scales around. I have the True Balance Beam scales, RCBS 1010, 505. I even have a Gem Pro digital scale, and then I have this Hornady scale. But anyways, you saw that it came out to 50.1. Let's weigh this particular bullet here, which came out of the Dan Wesson 4-inch. Here's a pedal that broke apart in the Clear Ballistics Gel. So it maintained 169.7 grains of weight through the Clear Ballistics Gel. I am sure there are other petals, of course, that are in there, but the mass that continued to penetrate at 16 inches of Clear Ballistics Gel from the 4-inch Dan Wesson came out at 169.7 grains. Now, this thing opened up pretty good. Let's see here. Let's see how this thing opened up. Let's turn on the caliper, zero the calipers there. Man, and there it is, folks. That gold dot. That gold dot in the center. True hallmark there. Let's open this thing up. So just the case head in and of itself. Let's see here. At the widest point, 0.566 inches in diameter. Now, if I go down and include this petal down here that peeled back, let's see. That comes out at 0.600 inches. But you can see expansion there pretty good from the Dan Wesson. Almost dropped it. Expansion pretty good there from the Dan Wesson 4-inch at about 1,300 feet per second, as Fenix Ammunition said it would be. So I would say 1 point for Fenix Ammunition bullet. You can see there how this thing really just folded back on itself. But with 16 inches of penetration out of that 10mm, wow, I am digging it. So let's move on to the Para Elite Hunter and weigh it. Para Elite Hunter. Here is one of the pellets from the block, one of the largest pellets that I can find from the block. And you can see there, this one from the Para Elite Hunter comes in at 148.5 grains. So losing almost 40 grains of weight. And again, that signature gold dot in the center after it's been peeled back. I can tell you these edges are sharp, sharp, sharp. So let's take the diameter. Diameter of the head itself at the widest points come in at 0.612, 611 there. Not bad. If I include one of the pellets down here, that's actually a little bit smaller. As you can see though, wow, it just peeled back on itself out of that Para Elite Hunter at 1,350 feet per second. Just devastation in and of itself. Wow, what an experience. Put it back on there. 148.6, 148.5 grains of weight. So again, losing almost close to what, 32 grains of weight, because it is a 180 grain bullet from Fenix Ammunition. But I will say Fenix Ammunition delivered upon their promise. 1,300 feet per second, along with just the reputation of the Speer Gold Dot, and that particular bullet is great in expansion, and the Clear Ballistics Gel. And wow, what a fantastic day on the range today. I tell you, that Clear Ballistics Gel just adds a different dynamic when doing tests on the range. And if you really want to know how your ammunition is going to perform, whether it's reloaded or whether it's factory ammunition, Clear Ballistics Gel is a way to go, and will bring about a different type of fun while out on the range. So as you see it, the tail of the tape, I would say Fenix Ammunition 2 points, Clear Ballistics Gel 0. For Clear Ballistics Gel to me to have gotten a point out of 10mm ammunition, I'm looking for something that doesn't penetrate 12 inches or more, which means Clear Ballistics Gel is stopping that ammunition, or we have some FBI load or weak type 10mm loads. But stay tuned to dayattherange.com and the reloadersnetwork.com for more 10mm ballistics gel test. And visit dayattherange.com, the 10mm load room, where you will find my own personal loads, over 100 loads of 10mm that I've loaded, that I've experimented with on that site. Mr. Revolver Guy, dayattherange.com.